ladies and gentlemen, Jodi Benson! Hi, good morning. Good. A lot of you are up, Kate.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. It's just an honor meeting you. I'm actually a heart patient survivor. So I actually lived out through heart patient and they don't know how much longer I have. So I just watched you growing up as well. And so I have 2 questions for you. I didn't know if that was okay.
Absolutely.
So the first one is, what got you started to be Little Mermaid?
That's a great question. I actually was doing a Broadway flop musical called Smile with Howard Ashman and Marvin Hamlish, and a song was written for my character called Disneyland. So I sang that song in the show, and on opening night of our musical, before we closed, they surprised me with Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse came and gave me the keys to the kingdom, so that was like this wonderful gift. And the show closed, and I think Howard Ashman felt sorry for all of us, so he invited a handful of girls to audition for a movie that he was working on called The Little Mermaid. I had never been behind a microphone before, didn't know what I was doing, so I auditioned with what I thought she might sound like and a little bit of the song that Howard had recorded on a cassette tape for me to learn, for all of us girls to learn. And about a year later, I got the call that I was Ariel, and I totally forgot that I had even auditioned for the project. So I was like, what? What's that? I'm an Ariel? What's an Ariel?
Wow.
So it was a huge surprise, and it's been an amazing journey ever since.
Thank
yeah.
you.
And you had a second question, sweetie?
Yes. My second question is, how did you like working as Ariel when you had the show?
How do I like doing my work?
Yes.
Yeah. I think you can tell I love my job. I do. I really love my job. People ask me all the time, are you tired of it? You know, after 6 years now? No, I really don't. I love going to work. I was in the studio last week. I'm working with my same director I've worked with for almost 35 years. And, you know, I just feel very blessed. I feel very, 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 very blessed because I do love what I do, and I do know that what we are a part of for our little film and this character, it matters to people, you know, and I love coming to the conventions because I get to hear all of your stories and hear what the movie means to you, what the character means to you, and how it's touched your life. And so that's just, you know, the double blessing that I get coming back.
Thank you.
But I appreciate that. Thank you so much for taking your time. We appreciate it.
Amazing, thank you.
I think, I know that it has been nothing but positive for me. And everything that I have been a part of since then has been because of either my connection with Ariel or my relationship with the Walt Disney Company. And it's always been a plus. It's never been a negative. And for me, I don't feel pigeonholed. I honestly don't, because I feel like I'm able to do lots of different types of things and be creative. Ariel's a huge part of my life, absolutely, and I'm thrilled about that. But it's never feeling like I'm being held back from anything. It's the absolute opposite, you know, for me, it's just icing on top of the cake. And it allows me to connect with people, you know, all over the world. It allows me to have a special connection with multi-generational folks now. You know, we're in our 4th or 5th generation now that I get to connect with. And it's an incredible ministry, but just this incredible opportunity that I get to be a little part of people's story. And that's a privilege. That's a real privilege for me, so. Thank you for that question, that was really great.
Thank you for the answer. Thank you very much.
And I love that you continually get to be Ariel. It wasn't just like you did the movie and you're done. It is an ongoing life for you. How often do you record stuff for Ariel?
Every week. It kind of goes in seasons, you know, with whatever product that we're doing, whether we have new things going on for games, for all of the technical stuff that's going on, and we're doing the talking dolls and the talking necklaces and the talking lamps and the talking rings and bracelets, and anytime that you hear the voice, you're going to hear me. There was one time in 36 years that it wasn't me. And it was an unfortunate day because it was Christmas morning and Santa had come, and our daughter Delaney was probably 5. She was 5 because we lived in Georgia. And I had bought her the Little Mermaid vanity with a little stool, and it came with a blow dryer and makeup and a brush, and you push this button and Ariel's gonna talk and it lights up and she sits at it and she can, play makeup. So we were super excited. So Santa brings this and she comes down the stairs. It's an Ariel vanity, and she pushes the button and it plays, and she looks at me and she's like, "That's not you, Mommy." "Mommy, that's not you."
Ooh.
And I was like,
She's like your lawyer.
I was like, and I was like, what? And so I pushed the button, I put my ear up against it, I'm like, oh no, they did not. Oh my gosh, believe me, Monday morning I called my agent and I played it over the phone, and they were like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "I don't know." And I'm not gonna say the name of the company, but anyways, it was a huge toy company. So they got a call on Tuesday saying, "What are you doing? What's up with that?" "Well, it's not really Ariel. It's supposed to be a little girl that says, 'Hi, welcome to this princess,' whatever."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, it's got Ariel all over it." And we're not. So we still have it, but
Did you re-record your
yeah, we just kind of pushed the button so many times it just kind of broke. And so now when she was little, then she would pretend, and then I would say, "Hi, Delaney, welcome."
I love it.
"It's the time for vanity." So I'd stand behind it and like crouch down behind it, and she'd push the button. Mommy, there we go. It's Mommy's voice now.
I love the story.
Yeah, so that was the only time in like 35 years.
They got busted.
They got busted.
I mean, were they even close, or was it like part of your world?
Yeah, it was like she was saying like, "Hi, welcome to the Princess Vanity. You look beautiful today." And I was just like, "You are driving me crazy. Turn you off, girl." Yeah, it was bad.
Oh my God.
And they got busted. They did. But they were, they tried. So that was not a very happy Christmas morning. kind of a funky day.
Oh, man, I love that story.
Epic fail on toy.
And you got to do, of course, the voice for, there's a Little Mermaid ride at
Yes.
Disney World.
Yes.
It's a great ride.
It is
too.
a great attraction. They're such a
good.
beautiful attraction.
Yeah.
I know we all say rides. We can't say rides. We have to say attractions.
Hey.
Little Mermaid Under the Sea attraction. But yes, I got to open both of those at both of our parks, and what a glorious day. And then the kids and I got to shoot a behind the scenes type of like welcome to New Fantasyland, which is on some DVD. I don't remember which DVD. It was like 2 people saw it. And but the kids are in it, and Delaney just has to live it down because she has braces and she's in that awkward stage. And she was like, "Mom, I can't believe that I'm on this thing." I look like that. And my son, he's got his bowl cut like his Justin Bieber hair, and so he's like, "I have to live with that for the rest of my life." But we had so much fun at Fantasyland at 3:00 in the morning. Because we were shooting this, and so we rode the ride like 48 times, to do the shoot. And each time you do it, you have to be just as excited as the last time. And of course, I was living my best life, just riding the ride back and forth with my kids with the camera. But the 2 of them are just like, "How many more times?" Now they got paid. They got paid. Both of them got paid. I was like, "You have a paycheck. You will follow the director's instructions. You will be happy riding this ride for number 45. Ready and go." And so this is what they're doing. They're like, "Oh, Mom, isn't this great?" Yeah. And then it would stop and they'd be like, Another take. Here we go. Another take.
I wish this was a
So I was like, hey
sitcom.
man, you got paid. You got paid. You got paid. Put that in your college fund.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so they were
I
happy.
love it.
Do we have a question? I'm so sorry. I didn't
That's
see over there.
Hi.
My name is Aaron, and I was 7 when your movie came out. So I was the first generation of kids to get to see it. And I was obsessed with mermaids at that age, so this movie was my favorite for a very long time. My question actually has to do with the song "A Part of Your World," and you did the singing voice as well, correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, baby.
No, I
You'll
like
feel
that.
up here.
I like that so much because so much of the time it's different actresses, and it's just great that you had the ability to do all of it. But there's a fabulous documentary on Disney Plus called Howard, and I recommend anybody who has access to that to
Yes,
watch it.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I was hoping maybe you could tell us a little bit about Howard and your relationship with him. And I also wanted to know if you were aware of the controversy of him wanting to put A Part of Your World in the movie and executives wanting it to not be in it, and that Howard had to really say, put it in there or I walk, or whatever he ended up doing. So I'd love to hear about that.
That's great. Well, first of all, yes, absolutely. If any of you have access to Disney Plus, you must watch our documentary called Howard. It's absolutely brilliant. It gives you the insight of who Howard was. Howard was a brilliant genius way ahead of his time. He was an introvert. Most people felt very intimidated by him, but he was actually incredibly empathetic and kind and compassionate. He was my director for Smile on Broadway. I worked with him for almost 4 years, from conception of that musical, through workshops, through backers auditions, through fundraising, through our out-of-town workshops, out-of-town tryout, and on Broadway. So we worked together for quite some time. And then, jumping into Mermaid, he actually became my director. John Musker and Ron Clements, who are the directors of The Little Mermaid, stepped aside and were brilliant and humble to let Howard jump in the studio with me and direct me, standing next to me for every recording session, because he knew me and he knew how to work with me, and I trusted him and I loved him. People thought that he was super scary, and yes, the first time I met Howard was at my Broadway audition for Smile, and he was very intimidating. But it's his passion and his genius that can be a little bit off-putting, but when you get to know him, you can see his love for performance. He was an actor himself. He's an actor's director. He knew exactly how to pull everything out of me and everyone else in a really direct, succinct, clear way. I so enjoyed him as a director. And I'm going to tell you a quick little story that I don't think I've shared with anybody, maybe one little setting, but this will tell you who Howard was. So for the Broadway show Smile, we had 5 callbacks. They don't do that anymore because you have to pay for that. But back in the day, you'd go to your first audition, and then I had 5 return callbacks. So it's the 5th callback. It's a long process, right? We're all tired, we're weary. It's been about 6 weeks of dealing with this. I knew I was up for the lead. So I came in for my 5th callback, ready to go in my dance outfit. We were learning yet another dance combination. With a smile on my face, I was in the front line to the right-hand side. I'm learning this and I'm struggling. I'm not picking up quickly. I'm just, I don't know. I just wasn't connecting that day. It was not a good day. And I see some movement going around from the table, because all the powers that be are at the table, walking all the way around, coming around to the right-hand side and going to the door. And it's Howard, and he looks at me and he goes like this. And I'm like, man, I'm cut. So I go grab my dance bag, the tears are starting, I go outside the door, close the door, he's around the corner, he goes, and I just break down. I said, I know. I'm sorry, Mr. Ashman, I know you have to cut me. I suck today, I know that. I'm so sorry, and I just break down. And he grabs my shoulders, he goes, why are you crying? I said, I know you're cutting me. He goes, no, I'm actually casting you as the lead right now because I can't stand to watch what you're going through inside. So I want you to dry your tears. We never had this conversation. And I want you to go back in there and put a smile on your face and do your best. But I can't put you through this anymore. And he went home to his husband that night. It's an incredible story. I mean, and I never told anybody. He went home to his husband last night and he said, well, and Bill said, how was your day? And Howard said, it was not a good day. I did the worst thing, the most unprofessional thing I could ever do in the business. I told Jodi she had the part before we had even announced casting and had finished the callbacks. And he said, but why did you do that? He said, because I couldn't stand watching her go through it. It was killing me inside. And Bill's like, you did the right thing because you did the loving thing. And we kept that a secret for years. We never told anybody that. But that shows who the Howard really is that I knew. Compassionate and loving, but absolutely brilliant.
And doesn't that connection help you to be a better actress?
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, when a director is pulling everything out of you in a loving, kind, supportive way, I mean, 1,000,000 times, and you've probably seen the videos of us recording, but 1,000,000 times he would say under his breath, you can do this, you've got this, you got this, you can do it, it's there, you're almost there, it's fine, no, it's good, you've got this. Constantly saying that as I'm beating myself up.
Wow.
You know, but he's just driving, he's leading with love. He's leading with love. Another quick story, you've probably heard it before, but Jeffrey Katzenberg, who was head of Walt Disney Studios at the time for Mermaid, was at a preview. It was still half sketch, half animated. And it was a preview with family and children. And there was a 4-year-old little boy that's sitting in front of him who dropped his bucket of popcorn at the beginning of Part of Your World, which he then, as a 4-year-old, very sweet, attempted to get up and pick up every kernel and put it back in the bucket. Isn't that sweet? Well, Jeffrey interpreted that as the child was restless. So he wanted to cut the song. So he went to Howard, he said, we gotta cut this song. The kids are restless. And he went to Glenn Keane, my animator, and he said, the kids are restless. You need to add Sebastian, we've gotta add a couple little moments of some comedic relief kind of thing. And basically Howard said, no, we are not cutting Part of Your World because it's an I Want song. And if we don't have an I Want song for Ariel, that people are not gonna watch the beginning of it, they're not gonna fall in love with her and root for her until the very end of the film. It will not stand without the song. And so if the song gets cut, I won't be here.
Wow.
Because I don't want my name attached to that. So Jeffrey will tell you today, it would have been his greatest mistake of his entire career.
Wow.
He'll tell you that today.
Wow.
That would have been the worst thing I ever did in my career as a decision.
Yeah, yeah.
And boy, are we grateful that he didn't cut my song.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, his instincts were correct, obviously, keep the song, but it's crazy to think how that could have been changed just by, you know, one 4-year-old who probably has OCD, and it's just like, I gotta get every piece, and that could have changed everything for all of us.
Yeah, so we're very thankful, but
Wow.
yeah, it's a really neat thing when you think about our film and you think about why this film is so special. It's because of Howard Ashman. You know, he brought the Broadway musical to the Walt Disney Feature Animation Studio. He brought this concept of blending music with feature animation. So when you think about all the films that have happened since Little Mermaid, they wouldn't be here today if it weren't for Howard. And Howard is the one that brought Alan Menken. They were actually looking at a variety of composers. And Howard said, Alan's my writing partner. We had done Little Shop of Horrors together. They had done that on Broadway, off-Broadway. And so Howard was like, we're a team. So he really made these huge differences in the second golden age of animation.
Yeah, it sounds like he just really knew how to use everyone's talents to the highest. That's amazing.
Absolutely, he was definitely a team player.